Leadership is a basic requirement for developing an ethical corporate culture and reinforcing ethical decision-making among employees. Although it is important for a company to have a CEO and board of directors who are committed to being ethical, it is equally important for the employees below them to behave ethically. In order to fully understand ethical leadership, it's important for an individual to first define what ethical leadership is. Ethics is an individual's personal beliefs and actions of what is right or wrong. For this presentation, ethics are the principles that govern a leader's behavior. Leadership is the ability to guide others and direct them towards a common goal. Managers produce order, direction, and coordination. Leaders, on the other hand, inspire, motivate, and guide others to be better employees. Ethical leaders not only need good character and competence, they also need the skills to lead and guide others. Ethical leadership skills are developed through years of training, experience, and learning. Leaders must model their organization's values and place the organization's best interests over their own. They seek to encourage the development of other leaders and employees, inspiring them to reach their full potential. Strong ethical leaders have the knowledge, wisdom, and courage to make the best or most ethical decision. In so doing, they consider all stakeholders' interests. Ethical leadership has many benefits for the organization and directly affects the corporate culture. First and foremost, an ethical leader creates an ethical environment, which leads to employees incorporating ethical behaviors in their daily activities. Employees who work in an ethical environment tend to be more satisfied and committed to working for the company. It also has an effect on customers in the sense that customers gain trust for the business, which leads to company loyalty. Organizational culture is developed with or without effective leaders. However, the company's leaders greatly influence this culture. Ethical leaders generally adopt one of two approaches to leadership: compliance-based or integrity-based. A compliance-based company tends to stress the importance of rules and regulations. They avoid illegal and unethical troubles at all costs. An integrity-based leader takes responsibility for the company's ethical culture and holds employees accountable for ethical behaviors. This method empowers employees and helps them to adopt the company's core values and principles. There is also another way to classify leaders. An unethical leader is one who has no regard for following laws in order to attain organizational or even personal goals. An apathetic leader is one who shows no feeling, concern, or enthusiasm when it comes to the business. They view ethical codes as optional and usually show no interest in the company's overall mission. An ethical leader is a leader who incorporates ethics into every organizational level and decision. They address issues immediately to avoid unethical misconduct and create a corporate culture in which employees are encouraged to participate in decisions. They communicate with employees so that they all have an understanding of what is expected from them. Transactional leaders are leaders who create employee satisfaction through negotiating for desired behaviors or levels of performance. Transformational leaders are leaders who strive to raise employees' levels of commitment and foster trust and motivation. Authentic leaders are leaders who are passionate about the company, live out corporate values daily in their behavior in the workplace, and form long-term relationships with employees and other stakeholders. Emotional intelligence is the ability to manage oneself and their relationship with others effectively, characterized by awareness, self-control, and relationship building. There are 6 styles of leadership based on emotional intelligence. A coercive leader demands immediate obedience and focuses on achievement, initiative, and self-control. Unless used during times of crisis, this style creates negative organizational climates. The authoritative leader inspires employees to follow a vision, facilitates change, and creates a strong positive climate. An affiliative leader values employees and their emotions and uses trust to encourage flexibility, innovation, and risk-taking. A democratic leader relies on participation and teamwork to reach collaborative decisions. The peace-setting leader sets high standards of achievement, which usually leads to negative climates because most employees are not motivated enough to follow them. A coach helps individuals develop skills in order to meet long-term goals. They practice delegating responsibilities and issues challenging assignments. Ethical conflicts emerge when employees feel that a coworker has made questionable decisions. Conflict is often a good thing for businesses because conflicts help to identify ethical issues. However, leaders must be able to appropriately manage conflict. This entails being able to identify who was responsible for the misconduct and the appropriate way to deal out corrections. There are 5 different conflict management styles: competing, avoiding, accommodating, collaborating, and compromising. These styles are based on 2 dimensions: assertiveness and cooperativeness. Leaders with a competing management style are very assertive but not very cooperative. They believe in winning at all costs and measure success by how much the opposing side loses. Avoidance management is not effective because they avoid conflict at all costs. These managers are not very cooperative and have low assertiveness. An accommodating leader is cooperative but not assertive. They usually give in to the opposing side, even if it means sacrificing their own interests. A compromising manager is in the middle between being assertive and cooperative. They find the best approach and solution for both parties in the conflict. Finally, collaborating styles of management are high in both assertiveness and cooperativeness. They work with others to find a creative way to obtain a beneficial solution. Employees at all levels of an organization should have an opportunity to develop and apply ethical leadership skills. In a values-based culture, employees are encouraged to express concerns, address ethical issues, and take proactive measures to resolve conflicts. Managers and employees alike should be trained in ethical decision-making, teamwork, and conflict resolution skills. Managers have numerous responsibilities, and when employees feel empowered enough to make decisions on their own, they're more likely to report questionable activities, provide improvement suggestions, and act as role models to ethical behavior for new employees. Communication is an important aspect of any business. Ethical leaders create transparency by developing a culture where ethics is frequently discussed. Reporting is a two-way process in which the communicator communicates with superiors and subordinates. Just as employees need to report to their managers, managers also need to report to their employees because they recognize the employees as having an important role in the success of the organization. How a leader communicates provides employees with a clear understanding of what is expected. Communication about ethics demonstrates that the leader cares about the ethical culture and employee participation in goals. Communication also increases employee morale. They are made aware of their contribution to an ethical culture, and it also encourages employees to address issues or concerns without fear or retaliation. Effective communication creates a positive leader-follower relationship. Organizational communication is divided into 4 categories. Interpersonal communication occurs when 2 or more people interact with one another. It provides an intimate opportunity for ethical leaders to receive or offer information. Small group communication applies in situations in which decisions are made by a team of people. It helps to empower employees to engage in greater decision-making responsibilities. Nonverbal communication is expressed through actions, body language, expressions, and other forms of communication that is not written or verbal. Nonverbal cues can provide information on a person's emotional state. Listening is an important factor of communication. Leaders who fail to listen to concerns often overlook ethical issues. It is also important for employee morale. If an employee feels confident enough to speak to their manager and feels as though their concerns are not being taken seriously, it could discourage them from communicating any further and their morale would decrease. Although each individual has their own personal goals, it is important for a company to get leaders and followers to adopt shared values and work towards goals for the company. Leader-member exchange theory focuses on the relationship between managers and workers and on how they should interact with each other to reach a successful workplace environment. Employers who are socially isolated from employees will have a tenuous relationship because employees are left to make their own decision. On the other hand, micromanaging employees produce employees who have low morale and productivity because they feel as though the manager does not trust them.